how to backtest all the things that you have learned so far. All right, so this is possibly a question that you have right now, and I'm gonna try to answer you in as much details as possible. And of course, I'm gonna show you two simple ways to actually backtest and to build market experience and just to train your eyes, because at the end of the day, it's all about your eyes and how they identify all of those formations just by looking at a chart. With experience and with chart time, you will be seeing all of those things just within seconds, all right? Because your eyes get trained. And at this period, I am not gonna spend hours to backtest, right? Because I have more than, I think, 8 hours of me backtesting in my private courses. And then I have members backtesting for more than 10 hours. So that is really content that is with the strategies that we teach, right? But this is more like an outline of really to set the foundation of market structure. And I'm gonna show you actually how to spot those formations right now and how you can journal them and all of that stuff, right? So preferably you would like to do this on TradingView because MT4 is a little bit sloppy, right? I only use MT4 for my execution, so when I'm taking a trade, when I'm managing a trade, but I don't like backtesting there. There are some softwares that are nice, but it's just way too, not that it's complicated, but it's lacking a lot of things. Like you don't have that freedom of your charts on TradingView. Like you can go, you can zoom in, you can do whatever you like from whatever angle to view the price. But with TradingView, with MetaTrader, you don't have this. Okay, so again, you would like to get that to replay too if you want to. This comes with the premium version of TradingView, of course, and I think it's a great investment to actually make. But if you don't have that, then you can just simply go back in time. Okay, so actually there are two ways to not to backtest, but to really identify those formations and to potentially see how you can get an entry. Okay, and this is by, first of all, going when you see a potential lower high or when you see a potential formation, just zooming in and just looking at that price point. And for this, you actually don't need the replay tool, but it's much better if you have it. Okay, so for example, let's say that we have this push to the downside and this pullback, and we see this lower high. And again, remember, backtesting is all about hindsight. Right? You look at the market already printed, but the aim is not to just lie to yourselves or just to see something that has happened. It is to build knowledge. Okay, it is to build experience and to build chart time. That's it. So for example, let's say, okay, I see that this push to the downside, that is fine, but let's see how I will actually manage that trade. So let's say we have this push, we have this pullback, this is a potential lower high formation. Where is our major lower high? It's right there. So the market is below it, and it's starting to slow down. So let's drop to the hourly time frame to see what do we have. Okay, let me actually remove this thing right there. So yeah, we have a little bit of a double top right there. The market strongly impulsing to the downside, and right now what do we wait for? We wait maybe for a little bit of behavior on the hourly time frame. Let's wait for some sort of rejection, some sort of bearishness. This is fine actually. This is an evening star formation, so right, we can actually jump to the 50-minute right now and see if we're gonna have any of our patterns to enter a trade. As you can see, we have a big push to the upside, the pullback, a high, so the market is still trading to the upside. So I would like to see some more recent structure to form. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's see, this is a potential higher low again. So if this potentially gets broken, we can enter a trade. And yes, as you can see right there, we broke the trade. Why? Again, what is this formation? Again, the market is not perfect, but this is actually a MSS formation. Why? Because the market pushes up, pulls back, high, pulls back right there a little bit, fails to break, pulls back again. Maybe this is a higher low. Okay, so after this, you expect the market to pump up, but it doesn't. It breaks below. It actually comes back for a retest, and right now you have this bearish engulf. So what you can do is you can practice. Okay, can I enter right there? Yes, you can. My stop loss will be above. What can I also do is wait for the market to pull back a little bit. And then you start to examine, where will my take profit be? Well, potentially if I take the FIP, again, from the high to the low, we can target the 27. We can target first this one, and then we can target swing for the 27 extension. So, and then you can examine how will that market play out. Let's see. Again, we have another break, we have another retest. That is fine. Let's see how it plays out. We come back again. So actually, this is your clear retest, and this is more for an aggressive entry. If you remember, we have a clear break. Where is your structure? Is this one. So you can actually enter a trade from here, which will reduce your stop loss just by a bit. Okay, 7 pips, and then you again target the lows, and then you see again how it plays out. Okay, we push down. How are you gonna manage the trade? We can see that the market actually broke structure and retested the structure, so potentially it's not going to come back to this area. So we can go break even on both the trades, and then you see how it's going to play out. Let's see if it breaks. It comes back again to retest again that area to create a double top, but you can see it didn't pull back to our entry. So potentially right now we will try to make a lower low. Come on. But yeah, and we eventually get stopped out at break even. But yeah, this is actually the process that you should go. Then you go again to the hourly time frame. Where do I see a trade? Where do I see something? Okay, so we have this big push to the downside, we have this pullback. So how can I enter a trade from here? Okay, so you go back, you go like this. Okay, let's say that this is our full hourly lower high. Then we drop to the hourly time frame to monitor for some sort of rejection candles to see if there are really sellers coming in. Okay, not really, not yet. Okay, we have a rejection, we have a bearish engulfing candle. That is not bad. Maybe you want something more. Let's see. Okay, another rejection. Maybe let's consult with a 15-minute to have a look at some of the patterns that we trade. Well, let's have a look. You have an uptrend, you have a break of the structure. The market created a high, okay, right there. Then the market strongly broke below the previous lower high, the previous higher low, and we actually already retested it. So we missed the entry a little bit, but what we can do maybe is we can set a limit to see if the market is going to trigger, and our stop loss should be above, and then potentially target the beginning of the move, which is somewhere around there. And yeah, then you again practice how you can enter. This is how you build knowledge. You can see that you get triggered, but you get stopped out. So what is the lesson for this one? Well, potentially you didn't wait for enough rejection. As you can see right there, the market faked above and created a strong bearish engulfing candle that actually broke hourly structure. So you go back to the 15 minutes. Yeah, trading view is a little bit shitty because right now it's actually gonna break. Okay, right now we are actually breaking. So where is my most recent structure again? Let's try to find it. Well, I would personally look for potentially for this one to be retested, but again, if you're more conservative and if you want to get into the trade, you can look for a retest of this, okay, and then you can practice. Let's say I take a trade from here, stop loss above, but let's say I would like to see this as a retest, and again, stop loss above. Let's see what happens. If we get triggered, actually we don't get triggered to the upside, and the market then continues to plummet down. And again, you see, okay, here is my double top formation, here is my push, here is my pullback right there, retest, so this is how I can enter that trade. And this is one of the ways. Again, you can just jump on the hourly time frame and you can identify, for example, the market failing to break above. Let's say this price action right there. As you can see, the wicks to bodies, the market tapped, failed, and then we actually broke structure to the downside. So this is a confirmed double top. So how can we get into a trade? Okay, then you see all of those rejections right there, and we have again a little bit of a fake. So make sure you are aware of the trading sessions, and then what you do, you drop to the 15-minute. How can I enter that trade? Okay, so the market is pushing up right there. So possibly you could have had a break-even trade right there, because you can see all of those failures to break above. Then the market strongly impulses to the downside, just right there, and breaks this overall structure. So this is really a setup for an aggressive entry. Okay, why? Because it pulled away, it formed that shape to the downside, and then what we can do is we can set our limits right there on the zone, stop loss above the most recent structure, and then we go for a take profit. Usually the take profit will be at the lows, but you can see that the lows right there don't make too much sense. Again, 2.6, but maybe again 1 to 4 could have been nice, but if you held more, you would have been stopped out at break even. Then you evaluate again, what can I do? Okay, so the market pushes to the upside, strong move up, pullback. One candle of push, a strong break below. Where is your major structure? So this was actually news. Okay, so again, this is the lowest wick, but even if we take this as our major structure, it was also broken. So again, you want to see where you can enter. Well, have a look where the most recent structure is, right there after this bullish candle, these little wicks right there. Okay, and then you do like this, and then you're like, okay, so I'm gonna enter from here. Where is my stop loss? Above. And where is my take profit? Well, usually you would like to place it right there at the bottom, but if it doesn't make too much sense, then allow a little bit more breathing room, at least to 1 to 2, 1 to 3. And this is how you go for it, right? Go back to the 4 hourly then.